Hello and welcome. You're watching Trending Tech on NewsX World, where we bring you the latest tech breakthroughs and trends from around the globe. As the entertainment and social media industries rapidly evolve, artificial intelligence technology is taking center stage, reshaping everything from film production to influencer marketing. With major players like Amazon, MGM Studios, Disney, Warner Music, and YouTube leading the charge, AI is not only transforming content creation, but also opening new opportunities and challenges across global markets. From virtual influencers to AI-generated music, the impact of these advancements is felt everywhere. They are transforming everything from traditional TV markets to the rise of digital platforms. Today, we take a closer look at the latest developments and their implications for the industry. To discuss this and more, joining us now is Darren Nino Di Stefano, a senior industry consultant in entertainment and social media. He has managed portfolios for major brands and broadcasters working on content and distribution strategies for emerging platforms. Thank you very much for joining us, Darren. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Thanks for having me.
Let's get straight into this. With Amazon MGM Studios launching a dedicated AI unit for film and TV production, how do you see this impacting content workflows and spending in markets like India's TV sector, which generated $7.4 billion in FY25?
Well, MGM Studios, which is actually owned by Amazon, has recently launched a unit dedicated for AI. The objective is to mainly come up with tools for film and TV production, ultimately to save costs. So this was already seen in House of David, which is one of their TV shows, and they used AI to generate a battle scene, for example. But when it comes to India and the billions made, when it comes to local and original content, it will really get these creatives to assess all parts and phases of the production, whether it's the pre-production side, such as storyboarding, creating virtual sets, to even the virtual, special effects during post. So far, Amazon is seeing efficiencies in reduction of timelines to 20 to 25%. And this is great news for shows that require tight turnaround, for example. As for the mid-sized sort of production houses or the indie producers, this is great in creating those kind of epic scenes that are similar to like Dune or Game of Thrones. And it can now be done at a fraction of the cost.
Wow. And moving on to further news, and of course the Disney $1 billion deal with OpenAI. This licenses over 200 characters from the studio's portfolio, including icons like Mickey Mouse and Frozen. This raises questions on AI-generated content. What opportunities and risks does this present for entertainment giants engaging in global audiences?
Well, they've basically entered into a 3-year agreement with each other. And they are bringing popular characters from Disney's IP to Sora's artificial intelligence video generator by OpenAI, and who are the owners of ChatGPT. Disney want to gain a bit of an oversight, almost forming a committee between these two parties to ensure that the stuff is brand safe. But they also want to do that while harnessing audience interaction, navigating through those, all while navigating or circumventing through those ethics and IP issues. Risk-wise, it could potentially damage the brand if the content that's being created spreads at a rate that Disney can't control. And we've already seen this with some of the past incidents that have happened when it came to Crisis Manager. As far as opportunities go, and for those kind of giant players, entertainment giants like Disney can curate sort of AI videos for their own and operated platforms like Disney Plus, for example. So they can test new stories, they can test new characters, and pass that on as feedback with their content commissioners. And this will now include a layer of like fan-generated content, which can ultimately boost engagement and target, say, younger audiences or global audiences who are savvy on social media.
And moving on once again, Darren, the settlement between Warner Music Group and Suno AI, allowing licensed use of artists' voices and catalogues for generative models in 2026. This opens doors for AI in music creation. How might this influence partnerships and revenue streams in media or marketing agencies?
Well, Warner Music seemed to have come to a settlement with Sono AI, which was once a lawsuit late last year and has now become more of a partnership or a strategic, venture. So the Sono platform, for those who don't know, is primarily used for music creation, where users can create AI music. And Sono, as now with this platform, now get access to the record label's catalog. So these includes artists like Ed Sheeran, Bruno Mars, Charlie XCX. So media marketing agencies could potentially partner with the AI platforms directly for enterprise solutions, as opposed to the traditional route, which is going to the record labels when licensing commercialized tracks, for example. This is definitely a big win for agencies, like gaining access to cheaper content that sounds similar to those artists, and they are potentially royalty free.
There are AI native socials like Meta Vibes and OpenAI's Sora is reshaping these social networking platforms. As a senior growth director with a track record in social marketing, what strategies would you recommend for products and brands in order to stay relevant and survive?
Well, AI social networks are growing on the rise, putting pressure for traditional players like Meta, who owns Facebook and WhatsApp. And as you can see, it has resulted to Meta creating Vibes. And this is no shock to Meta, as they once created Threads to rival X when Elon Musk took over. And with these kind of new platforms, the kind of point of difference will vary on whether it's the feature, the functionality, or the overall purpose. So it kind of varies platform to platform. Some of them are focusing on the generative feed aspects, while others might prioritize image sharing as their value proposition to rival traditional apps. When it comes to brands and products, they will have a social playbook which will operates as their brand bible, and it's to determine the right strategy and format for social media. So they just need to make sure that the playbooks are updated, and are they targeting the right audience and the right platform, whether it's the current ones or the new ones. This also presents an opportunity for servicing markets like Korea and India, and they're heavily reliant on local specialty social networking platforms as well.
Yes, and Darren, virtual or AI influencers like Grammy Spills and Lil Maquila continually become a growing trend on social media, sparking viral fascination, but also skepticism around authenticity and brand deals. So far, does this insight align with your forecast and predictions in influencer marketing campaigns, particularly impacting real human creators and their income streams?
Well, there are influencers now on social media, and they are so realistic, and they're actually made with AI. So, Granny Spills has exploded on TikTok with 400,000 and 1 million Instagram followers, and that's just within weeks. Little Michaela, which when I was working once for a social media agency, we actually did a partnership with her because she was one of the early pioneers, and she's kind of being consistent with 2.5 million followers on Instagram. Brand deals that she's done so far has been brands like Prada and Dior, so they're quite realistic and they're definitely happening. And she has been reportedly to be earning $73,000 per post, so that's pretty crazy. While it's inevitable, it has been kind of a trend that's that has people that everyone has been predicting, and it is kind of slowly on the rise. But I think it's human creators are the ones that would probably hold most of the marketing budget or the social media sort of advertising spend. So they still kind of hold the chunk of it. Where the pressure might happen is it might put pressure with nano or micro influencers who are pretty much on the lower tier when it comes to income earning. And it will primarily be due to cost. So it'll probably be them who might be impacted versus the displacement of the topper talent.
And finally, YouTube's recent 2026 vision was announced by CEO Neil Mohan. It emphasizes AI tools being the key focus, blurring the lines between AI and user-generated assets. Whether you're a global production house or an aspiring creator, what are some of the best practices in managing change driven by AI, particularly in content production and creative workflows?
Yeah, so the CEO of YouTube recently made an announcement as part of their all hands, sharing their priorities in 2026, and the focus will be on AI tools, whether it's for creativity and content discovery, and this will allow creators to gain access to new features or faster production and recommendation sort of tactics. With Meta and TikTok aggressively pushing AI on their platforms, YouTube are desperately trying hard to reposition themselves as innovators in this space. And the key is for creators and producers to really treat AI as a new sort of production capability with clear accountability and what are those measurable outcomes. So best is to kind of have peak campaigns or production assets that's going to be core to your editorial content strategy and see how that might be impacted. So it's assessing those kind of new features once they get onboarded, and maybe select sort of assets that you think you can take a bit more of a creative risk and use and maximize and really value the AI features and see how it would operate using a test and learn environment, and it could be something that you can pioneer as well.
Darren, Nino, Di Stefano, thank you so much for joining us here on this episode of Trending Tech. Pleasure to have you.
Thanks.
With that, it's a wrap on this episode of Trending Tech. For more tech updates and innovations, stay tuned on NewsX World.
What we can